Welcome to Sparkle Memories. I'm Miss Ram. Today's topic we're going to be talking about is developing a plan. Developing a plan is very important. I know a lot of people are probably saying that no, a plan depends on what you're going to do. Exactly. But guess what? When you don't plan, then you plan to fail. Am I right or am I wrong? One of the main reasons why to do a plan is because it helps things to go along a lot smoother. And you have time for consequences, circumstances, and other things that may occur that you didn't even think of that might happen, whether it be something that is going to be short-term, long-term, but it affects your results. Yes, that's why planning is important. Whether you plan it in your personal life, whether you plan it in your business, whether you plan it when it comes to your family, your friends, guess what? This is something you want to do, because when you don't do it, guess what? Things happen. Whether it's life, whether it's your circumstances or your situation that might have occurred and might not have happened before, guess what? Planning helps. No, it's not always going to go how you want it to. I can tell you, it's not. So don't get upset if it don't go the way you want it to. That's just how things work sometimes. But it doesn't help if you don't at least plan and move forward so you can get into the right direction. The right direction, because you don't want to be here and want to be over there. You don't want to be in something that is in between what you want versus what you really want to accomplish when you do the different steps and get to where you want to be, not for where you're at, but where you want to be in terms of your mindset. I say mindset because that's where it stands from. Your mindset, you first gotta deal with what you want, why you want it, and how you go about dealing with it. Now, I did take some notes so I could get a little bit more insight as far as in terms of making and developing a plan. Now, as far as when it comes to having a plan, you need money, right? So you have to deal with your finances, whether it be saving money, spending money. Yes, you have to do both, because sometimes it takes money in order to get to where you want to be. It takes money to get where you want to be. I said that twice because I want to make sure it actually rings in and you understand. Sometimes things cost and some things are free. You gotta just figure out which one it is, right? Depending on what your career is and what you choose to do. You can either choose to have a job or have a career. You can either choose to get into schooling in terms of furthering education, or you could get experience from on-the-job training, whether it be volunteering or actually get into a position and working your way up the ladder. Say for instance, you go into a supermarket and you start out as a cashier. Later on, you become an office clerk. Then you become assistant store manager. Okay, that is building your steps to get to where you want to be. That's actually developing a plan. Because not all the time when you start from a particular area that you have to remain there. One of the main reasons I said that, because some people think because you started off small, you have to continue to be small. But if you have an ultimate plan, you're good. Because guess what? Prayer, persistence, all of that takes place, then you're pretty much good. Now, as far as when it comes to making things better for yourself, a lot of times we have obstacles. This will be our villain in our particular story that we want to write for ourselves. It could be your friends, it could be people on opinions, it could be you not trusting yourself, it could be anywhere. As say for instance, you're a person that likes to overthink things. That could be another obstacle for you. Now, if you're a person who don't even like to get into stuff and don't like to jump into anything until you go over it 1,001 times, guess what? That's another obstacle. Now, no thing is, once you get to where you want to be, the plan is to get to a certain step in terms of you set your goals, and then once you get or accomplish those goals, you want to reward yourself. You don't want to be just saying, yes, I got into point C, and now what's next? I have to do D, E, and F. Celebrate your small wins. That means take yourself out to eat. Maybe get into a point where as you go to your favorite hairstylist, you get your hair done, or you actually go buy yourself a new car because you got the money now, or you might want to go for a little trip. But you have to understand, when it comes to certain things, things happen because you plan it. Certain things are not going to work that way. Let's make that clear. Now, another thing with developing a plan, it takes more than just you thinking about it. You have to do the action. Now, say for instance, you want to be I'm gonna say administrative clerk. The first thing you got to do is either choose whether you want a job, you jump into wherever place is hiring, but they need 0 to 6 months experience, or career, whereas you get into it based on you actually plan to do this for long term and isn't something like a stepping stone to do something else. This is like something you want to do, your ultimate goal. Now, when it comes to things, if you do not do this stuff and you do not get to develop a plan, then guess what? You're going to find yourself in a position that you do not want to be, whether it be your home life, your personal life, your relationships. All of that takes place because most people do not sit down and actually plan. They just live life according to whatever happens, happens. Yes, we all could have that same kind of concept, but what happens if you don't even have an actual guide is you end up in these situations that you could really avoid if you had a plan. That's the whole purpose of having a plan. That's the whole thing. When you have a plan, then you can actually get to a point where you understand why things are the way they are. Because let's say, for instance, your personal life. At, let's say 25, not even 25, I'm gonna say about 30, you want to get married, right? And you know that you're not dating anybody and you're not getting steady with anybody. Okay, make it your plan to be seen. If you are female, make it your plan to be seen, because a lot of these guys, they like to actually pursue a woman and then get involved with them. Now, when it comes to getting involved with a guy, you have to look at certain things in terms of what you want out of the relationship and what you can actually bring forward to the table. Too many times people want to be in a relationship and they're not bringing anything. So when I talk about develop a plan, I'm not saying set somebody up to take what they have going on. I'm saying enhance what you already have going on. Because if you enhance what you already have going on, then guess what? Successful people attract other successful people. Yes, I know that opposite, people say, oh, opposite attract. And then everything comes together, and that's why things work. That's why you have a negative and a positive, and then they correspond to each other. I understand all of that. But guess what? When you're around like-minded people, you tend to have things in common. You tend to do things according to what y'all might like to do. And you get to, they show you other people who they may have admired, or somebody who they actually use as a mentor, and they use them as a form of a guide or assistance in what they're currently working on. That's why they say people who hang together are like one another. That just basically stating that you may have friends, and guess what? Your friend and you have something in common. That's all it really means. And sometimes the extract of having people who are very different from you and learning from them is also real good, because you don't want to be stuck in a position where you're not growing. Growing is something that we all want to do. One of the main reasons you grow is to be stronger in terms of your mindset and where you want to be, because that's where developing a plan comes in. Now, when I talk about develop a plan, let's say I'm talking about develop a plan in terms of your business. Say for instance, you start a business. You have your business name, you have your location, you have your supplies, you have your employees, you done the inventory, you done open up shop. Now, what's next? Advertising, marketing the business, and actually getting your finances straight, which means you're going to be the person or the face of your business, or you're going to have to pay someone to do such. That's another thing with developing a plan. Now, developing a plan when it comes to, I'm going to say, your finances. Say for instance, you want to get like $25,000 within the year saved. The first thing you got to do is define how much you're going to save per month and how you're going to accomplish that goal. Whether you already currently have a job and you want to get in to get a certain amount, maybe you want to get a second job, maybe you want to get a little side hustle to get you accomplish that particular amount each month, so you could get to $25,000 to save for that particular year. Now, once that year is over and you want to advance and you want to do even more, celebrate your small wins. This is Miss Sitaram from Sparkling Memories. Today we have been talking about developing a plan. Till next time, bye bye.